Well, hello and welcome. I'm going to be doing a short mini-series on my experiences with Microsoft's Power Automate and how I have been using it to limit my time and manage my time more effectively spent on social media. First, I think it's probably useful to tell you a little bit about me and the project. I'm an SQL and VBA programmer by trade, though a few years ago I did get qualified through Thoughtonomy on Blue Prism, which is an RPA or robotic process automation software. I did, though, get an opportunity that was too good to pass up, and I moved company. And to be honest, through the pandemic, it was probably good that I did, but it did mean that I wasn't doing any RPA. I was mainly back to focusing on SQL again and also learning a bit of C#. I did find some ways to squeeze a little bit of RPA into our processes using Microsoft's cloud-based Power Automate and then a couple of bits with their desktop-based Power Automate as well, or PAD. It very quickly seemed to me that Microsoft's tool seemed to be something that they originally made for managing their Microsoft-based products and then looked around and saw what all the other RPA software was doing and went, oh no, we need to expand and squeeze things in so that we can retain a bit of market share. Now that's pure conjecture. It could just be that they're a bit slow on the uptake and they're not particularly great at producing RPA software yet, but it is coming on, it is improving, and more can be achieved with it. And they do have the advantage of both the cloud and desktop flows that you don't find in all of the other packages. So I originally started this personal project because I'd recently got into TikTok and there was no way for me to easily post the videos from TikTok over to my channels. You had to download it and then you had to upload it, put in the title information and do basically everything that you might have done over on TikTok again and then more. Now, if this is your first time here, I run two main channels. One is Answers in Reason, which is a philosophy and science-based blog, podcast, and channel. And I run Adult ADHD Journey, which is basically a bit of a vlog plus some ADHD info, which is going with me on my journey through my ADHD diagnosis, which I received as an adult. My first thoughts to achieve this was to use integration options like Zapier or Integrately, and these are good little apps that I was using for other things, and I also tried so many different options to get this done, but nothing seemed to work. Now, both Zapier and Integrately do some functions well. I still use them for a few things. One of the things I use it for presently is when I load something into a particular playlist. It's my live and schedule playlist on Answers in Reason. It will send a message out to Facebook groups, Reddit, and so on to say, this video is going live soon, sort of thing. So it has its place. It definitely has its place. It just couldn't do what I needed for this particular task. Might do in the future, but it didn't when I was looking at it. Now, as I pay for Office 365, I actually had access to Microsoft's Power Automate. I figured if it can emulate your hand movements, that's the point of RPA, is it can basically replicate the end user rather than stuff being done in the background or done through APIs or anything like that. It's all the front end user experience automated. It's why it's great for admin tasks in companies and so on and so forth. But why couldn't it do what I need it to? All I need it to do is download a video and upload it and put in the info that I've already included. So, wow, surely that should be easy. And with the way my brain works, unfortunately, this idea kept on expanding and what if, and I ended up working on more and more. So it eventually has become something that, not only finds the videos on TikTok, downloads them, and uploads them to YouTube with the title and tags and everything like that. It also can select which channel to go onto YouTube and put them in the appropriate playlists. Also go through my existing videos and sort out their tags and playlists. It can share articles and images and videos to the YouTube community, Twitter, Facebook groups, and anything I put into, say, a recommendations playlist and that sort of thing. It can fire that out to recommend a particular video from other channels and things like that. And it can also find and analyze specific bits of data to it. So, for example, the main one I use is I connect to YouTube and look at when people are most likely to be watching a video on our channel, and then set the automation process to only upload videos at certain times on certain days. Now, this project got bigger and bigger. It got harder and harder to test and manage. And I also found out that websites, especially social media sites, which is key thing I am working on, like to constantly change their buttons, links, images, the button shapes, the code in the background, the class that it's using. Some have variable classes for their buttons, so it's different every single time. So it kept making the flows break down. And it seemed anytime I finally got a good end-to-end run, or even a particular bit working well, it would suddenly break. Something else would go wrong, and I'd have to start over again. And because of how big it got way, 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 way too complicated and too much work to retest specific bits. So what I did was I decided it would be best to break it up into smaller modules. So rather than all subflows within one main flow, they were all their individual desktop flows that were passed input variables. I'm still actually working on reworking everything again and again. So I will be releasing these videos each time I get sort of a successful run on a bit underneath. And hopefully by the end of these videos, I will have got it working completely end to end at least once. But the main reason I'm doing this is actually one of our viewers requested to see what we're doing. Usually our stuff is on philosophy and science, but, I guess this is computer science, so it sort of fits in with the answers in reason stuff, and it's a personal project, so it sort of fits in with the adult ADHD journey stuff. So I'm going to be posting it to both channels, and hopefully you can, find something in it that you can enjoy or learn from. But Wolf, this mini series is completely dedicated to you. And in the next episode, we'll actually get on to looking at the RPA stuff in more detail. And we're going to start with the TikTok automation.